Unspeakable tragedy that forever changed us.
5 years since the twin events of the Borderline mass shooting and the Woolsey fire.
We reflect and remember.
How communities are gathering together.
Malibu is continuing to rebuild
and build resiliency against wildfires. Good evening, I'm Joe Algan.
And I'm Carolyn Kimball. Welcome to NewsWaves. Healing through hope. We begin with Borderline. Tonight marks 5 years since 12 lives were taken in a mass shooting at the Borderline Bar and Grill in Thousand Oaks, including one of our own from Pepperdine. Sahana Patel is live at the Healing Garden in Thousand Oaks, where a community event remembering those lost just ended. Sahana?
Thanks, Carolyn. Today marks 5 years since the Borderline shooting here in Thousand Oaks. Survivors, first responders, and the loved ones of victims gathered to commemorate the lost lives. Over 100 people came to the ceremony to honor the 12 victims and law enforcement who served on November 7th. The family members representing the Borderline 12 each lit one candle for each of their loved ones lost. Father Desa from St. Patrick's Church encouraged the community to choose love in the midst of darkness. Parents of the victims and first responders spoke about the pain they've lived with over the past 5 years and how they're choosing not to be defined by grief, but love instead. Lori Dingman spoke about her son, Blake Dingman, a victim of the shooting, and how she was able to overcome evil with good by helping others through a foundation they created in his name. The Ventura Fire Department captain gave an emotional speech about leading first responders the night of November 7th. His team has been working with other fire departments across the state to offer support through sharing their stories. As the community here remembers the lives lost, Pepperdine alum Lauren Drake and Alicia Yu reflect on their time with Elena Housley, our Pepperdine student who was lost in the shooting.
You know, she isn't like some idea, like, yes, I've got my bracelet, right? Like, I love the Elena's Voice Foundation, and what Eric and Hannah have done is absolutely beautiful. And I have so much respect and love for them. But I also think that, she was a person, right? And I think a lot of times what can happen with these events is like people get dehumanized. And so she was funny. She was super smart. She was sweet. She was caring. She was kind, and she was unique, but she also was an 18-year-old girl living here, going to school, and this should not have happened to her.
Like, she was really giving with her time. I feel like quality time is something that I really remember her for. Is like, it didn't even need to be like, okay, we're gonna go to the beach, or like, we're gonna go to this place. It was just whatever. Like, you want to spend time, we'll spend time together.
The ceremony ended with honoring the survivors of the Borderline shooting. The community has experienced a tremendous loss, but with unity and relationship, they're able to support one another. Back to you.
Thank you for that coverage, Sahana. Such a special event. Plans for the demolition of the Borderline Bar and Grill are not moving forward. At the start of 2021, there were plans to raise the building, gutting the inside and tearing down the outer structure. But the owners failed to apply for a demolition permit. They later expressed second thoughts about demolishing the building to the city of Thousand Oaks. The city in turn announced an indefinite hold to evaluate different proposals for the building's repurposing. The building, which served as a gathering spot for residents for nearly 50 years, has been closed since November 7th, 2018. The club's lease expired in December of 2020.
The day following the Borderline shooting, with the tragedy still raw, a fire broke out fueled by Santa Ana winds. By the next day, it would reach Malibu.
Thursday will mark 5 years since the Woolsey fire hit Malibu.
Abby Wilt explains how the city is remembering the worst disaster in its history and vowing to be better for wildfires.
Valley.
5 years after flames roared through the Santa Monica Mountains, Malibu residents are still fighting and pushing to rebuild.
My client filed an application to build a house, a fire rebuild,
488 homes were lost in Malibu during Woolsey. Of those, only 144 are now fully rebuilt, and the city has only issued 273 permits, with many residents still waiting.
Tonight's a disappointing night for me.
Edward Coomer is one of those people still waiting for a permit to rebuild after Woolsey.
We do look forward to living there, so the sooner we can get this resolved, the better.
The Planning Commission postponed their discussion to issue Coomer a permit for 53 days now.
So it's a real shame.
But while residents wait to rebuild, they are also pushing to make Malibu a more fire-safe environment.
We want to rebuild a community and ensure that we have clean oxygen in the air.
The city set up 47 beacon boxes throughout the city, boxes with supplies for firefighters to use in a bind, especially those who are brought in from out of town during large-scale emergencies. And to commemorate 5 years since the Woolsey fire, the city is hosting events to provide space for residents to help and also reflect.
This area specifically was really hurt by the Woolsey fire.
The Malibu Foundation and Clarence hosted a Replant with Love event Saturday, where they planted 4 types of native plants in Calabasas.
A lot of native species that lived in these forests, were displaced by the fire and had nowhere to live.
Lexi, who experienced the Woolsey fire, spearheaded the event with the goal of creating a more sustainable environment.
It's really great that we can bring this microforest that will actually help promote more biodiversity in the area.
Native plants are not only safer during a fire, but they're also safer afterwards, helping bring cleaner air to the environment.
It is a tiny forest, and they're really great because they help refragment fragmented areas.
They planted oak trees, canopy trees, black walnut trees, coffee berry trees, and shrubs.
It's a shrub, and we're trying to plant them around this area over here. So this one's a red mark, so wherever you see a red flag, that's where all these are going to be planted at.
Over 60 volunteers showed up, providing a space for reflection, education, and renewal.
That was Abby Wilt reporting. Fire resilience efforts don't end there.
Zoe Hunt reports on the FireWise program that is hoping to expand across Malibu communities.
The Woolsey fire really let us know that as prepared as we thought we weren't nearly prepared enough or as prepared as we are now.
5 years since the Woolsey fire. Malibu West community member and former city council member Mikey Peterson is joining fire safety liaisons, Los Angeles firefighters, and community leaders to make his neighborhood fire-wise.
We're taking a lot of steps, and every step we can for ourselves and with the city and with the state to be as prepared as possible for the next fire, which will eventually come.
One of the first steps in the FireWise process is an on-the-ground community analysis.
Today what we're doing is we are surveying one community that has expressed an interest, and we are walking it and looking at the things that they have in place already and what they can do better.
The goal is to minimize the risk of home burning during wildfires through fire-resistant changes.
I don't think it's up to code. I think there could just be more pruning. I wouldn't tell them to cut any trees or anything, but cut it back sequentially.
FireWise is also about educating and empowering entire communities.
The real power is house to house at a community level. So I'm all about educating individuals and communities.
Although the city's fire safety liaisons offer free assessments to protect individual homes from fire dangers, such as flying embers,
Come down, get into the ponds.
the fire team believes fire safety must be met at the community level.
The reality is you can have your house in really good shape, but if your neighbor hasn't done the same, you face exposure.
With 2 pre-existing FireWise communities in Malibu, Big Rock and Malibu Country Estates, the team is eager to keep expanding the program.
We're kind of getting on our training wheels right now and kind of learning how to do it. But we would hope to get 5 to 7 communities.
But making a community FireWise is a long process that requires numerous volunteer hours, training, and paperwork. However, residents like Pearson understand the necessity.
If your house and your community isn't prepared for the next fire, your house or your community is going to burn down. That's just the reality of it.
That was Zoe Hunt reporting, and what a cool program. It's so cool to see.
In addition to that, FireWise leaders say that residents living in these communities are also eligible for reduced home insurance rates. And a slight cool down in the weather today, but another Santa Ana wind event is on the way with potential for power outages.
And continuing our coverage of the 5-year anniversary of the Woolsey fire, it's an anxiety young people in Malibu know all too well. We explain climate anxiety and how living here fuels the worry.
Plus, Nobu isn't just for sushi, how the city of Malibu is holding back the brand's hope of expanding. Up next.
You can sit with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. One book could be the first that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Welcome back. Nobu is having to wait for approval to expand its hotel, the Nobu Ryokan. Last night, the Planning Commission discussed a proposal to expand the Ryokan into a bed and breakfast. The rezoning project includes adding a kitchen, guest suite, pool and gym, and additional parking to the existing hotel. The commission disagreed on whether the bed and breakfast classification is appropriate based on food service, pool permits, and available parking. With no decision after hours of discussion, the Planning Commission voted to table the application until January.
The Calabasas Freedom Park is starting its rebuild with an approved budget of $175,000. The city of Calabasas removed play equipment at the park in February of 2022, and the playground replacement project was approved by City Council in June. The commission recommended a bid from PD Play with plans of complex play elements and a fun color scheme. The Calabasas City Council is meeting tomorrow night to vote on this design and contractor, along with other park improvements, including safe pedestrian access.
The city is hosting workshops to gather information about the impact of rising sea levels on residents. Next week, on Tuesday and Thursday, the community is invited to learn about Malibu's Coastal Vulnerability Assessment and give their input. The assessment measures the impact of rising sea levels in Malibu and identifies potential solutions. Community feedback from the workshops will be factored into the Coastal Vulnerability Assessment.
And wind and fire danger are returning. A wind advisory is about to go into effect.
Gosh, not another one. Emma, what can you tell us?
Yeah, we live in such a beautiful place in Malibu with the oceans and the mountains, but that really comes with a lot of danger. So I have a little more on that.
Okay.
The Santa Ana winds will cause an increase in temperature, but this comes with extreme risks. Today in Malibu, the high is 67 degrees, and today's low is 57 degrees. The warmer temperatures come tomorrow, but with the threat of power outages and wildfires created by the Santa Ana winds.
Today, the wind is averaging at 10 miles per hour, but there have been gusts up to 19 miles per hour. Today, there's also a low humidity of 25%. The whole region is experiencing these warm temperatures and winds. In Santa Monica, there is a partially cloudy high of 67 degrees with a low of 57. As we move through the canyon, the temperatures stay pretty consistent with Calabasas high at 67 and a large drop off to a low of 51. Agora Hills and 1,000 Oaks are experiencing the same temperature with a high of 68 degrees and a cool low of 50. The dry and gusty Santa Ana winds are causing an extreme fire risk in Malibu. The National Weather Service has issued a fire weather watch for Malibu that will stay through Thursday. There's also a wind advisory going into effect early tomorrow morning at 6 that will last until Thursday at 11 a.m. Unfortunately for the surfers, with the wind, the waves are looking poor this week. Today, the wave height is at the low 1 to 2 foot range, and tomorrow it is staying in that 1 to 2 foot range. Here, we'll take a look ahead at Malibu's extended forecast. Tomorrow, we will see the Santa Ana warm up with a high of 75 degrees and a low of 61. Thursday, we'll have a high of 78 and a low dropping into the 50s at 53. Friday, the heat will come back down with a high of 71 degrees and a low of 55. And Saturday, we'll have a sunny high of 72 degrees with a low of 57. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Emma. These winds right now remind us that as climate concerns rise, a new struggle has emerged.
Gabrielle Salgado is here with insight into the impact of our ever-changing climate on our younger generations.
Wildfires, tropical storms, and extreme temperatures. Youth are growing up in an ever-changing and unpredictable climate. Uncertainty about their future or their environment is causing a new anxiety.
As the climate shifts, young people in particular,
I'm so young. It's a real it kind of causes stress and worry.
Are grappling with an added anxiety, climate anxiety. According to Yale University's Sustainability Department, climate anxiety is distress caused by the ever-changing climate. Some Pepperdine College students face anxiety during the storm that hit Southern California in August of this year.
Much of my family's in Los Angeles, so I'm just like, oh, is everybody okay? Are all of our houses going to be okay?
This worry extends beyond young adults at Pepperdine. A Cleveland Clinic survey found almost 87% of individuals between the ages of 16 and 25 are worried about the future of the climate.
Climate change is a scary topic that a lot of people don't really want to talk about.
Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District's mental health coordinator says that as anxiety levels in youth are rising.
I think overall climate anxiety is one piece of a bigger anxiety uptick that we've seen in students over the past decade or so.
For younger generations, the state of the climate holds more weight.
And it's highly applicable, especially for us, for youth, because it's going to impact us the most and our kids the most.
The prospect of a severe shift in climate can leave some youth with a feeling of impending doom.
There can be kind of a passive acceptance or like a fatalistic view of
climate anxiety can also result from actually experiencing a natural disaster, like the Woolsey Fire in Malibu. Before the 2018 wildfire, young people in Malibu knew the climate crisis could be serious.
Before it was a prospect.
Half a decade after the deadly fire,
now it's becoming more of a reality.
The fire burned dangerously close to 15-year-old Aiden Colbert's home.
It could have been me at any given moment.
And changed Aiden's view of what seemed possible about climate disasters.
It makes it feel like this climate is a little it's volatile.
Aiden, like many other young people, so they don't know what to do to change the problem.
It's a little bit of a feeling of helplessness.
And that's where the worry comes from.
There's no safe cities anymore in the world.
Therapists are encouraging youth to participate in activism as a way to reduce climate anxiety. A group of 7 Pepperdine student journalists are currently working with the Solutions Journalism Network to take a deeper dive into this topic. Keep an eye out for future reporting on the solutions to the issue of climate anxiety.
Thank you for that report, Gabby. And such an important topic, I think. I mean, I speak for myself when saying that many people, I think, are feeling this way. Is that what you found so far?
Yes, especially with the fire threats that are occurring and the tropical storm that happened at the beginning of the semester. It's definitely a very present topic.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you for that, and we'll keep an eye out for future updates on this topic. And half a decade after Woolsey, the iconic rebuilding project that is underway.
What fans of old Hollywood can expect.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Got a quarter?
What are you, superheroes?
Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
Welcome back. Starbucks is boosting pay for its baristas. The Seattle-based coffee chain currently pays its employees between $15 and $24 an hour. Starting January 1st, the company says its retail employees will receive a minimum 3% wage increase, with longtime employees earning up to 5% more. NewsWaves reporters spoke with an employee at the Cross Creek Starbucks in Malibu who said they have not been informed about receiving the raise.
Well, even without the raise, it might be important to continue tipping our baristas just so that they have a livable wage.
Oh, yeah.
That is. And continuing our coverage of the 5-year anniversary of the Woolsey fire, we have work set to get underway rebuilding a filming location destroyed in the fire. Nora tells us more about this. Nora, what do we need to know?
Yes, Paramount Ranch, the iconic Hollywood backdrop for more than 90 years, destroyed in the Woolsey fire, is now in the process of being rebuilt. Take a look. A ranch filled with Hollywood history lays barren after being destroyed in the 2018 Woolsey fire. Nestled in the heart of the Santa Monica Mountains, Paramount Ranch and its western town was a memorable movie backdrop. The jailhouse, hotel, saloons, and Wild West buildings have been featured in countless movies and TV shows, dating back as early as the 1930s and as recently as 2017. Early appearances include Gunsmoke Ranch in 1937,
Reggie, Alice, where are you?
TV series Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman in the 90s, and just 1 year before the set was burned down, the sci-fi television series Westworld used it as a backdrop. The area offered Urban Hollywood Studios a rural western landscape for their films. The entire set burned to the ground in the Woolsey fire, except for 2 buildings, the chapel and the train station, which remain in their original condition. In 2019, Congress gave $22 million in disaster relief funds for rebuilding costs. The National Park Service just started its reconstruction of the ranch in September, with plans to restore the grounds to its full filming capacity by 2025. But, according to the plan, the western town will not be rebuilt. 4 new barn-like structures made of fire-resistant materials will be built over the rubble of the iconic filming location. Park officials say the new buildings will be simple and portable, making it flexible for studios to personally design their sets. The parts of the ranch and western town set, as well as nearby trails that survived the fire, are still open to the public. In other entertainment news, Halle Berry is trying to sell her Malibu Cove Colony mansion for $18 million. The home includes a variety of Zen features, as well as floor-to-ceiling windows and rooftop seating. Berry, who is most well known for her starring role as Catwoman, is reportedly still working on her new Netflix film Never Let Go, which is set to release this year. Journalist Brian West is officially the man. The Arizona writer was hired by newspaper giant Gannett as a full-time Taylor Swift reporter. The position is a first of its kind. West gets to be a trailblazer for the Swiftie beat. He applied to the viral position and proved his worth in a video where he boasted his correct predictions for Taylor's album re-releases. His Taylor coverage starts tomorrow at the 2023 Country Music Awards.
Well, how long do you think it'll be before NewsWaves gets a Taylor Swift reporter? That's what I'm wondering.
I think we need one. And it's a fun position, but it is a lot of work. She keeps really busy.
I think any one of us could could easily do that. But, you know, Taylor, if you have a blank space open, I'll take it.
We'll take it.
Oh, yes. You're the man for that job. You already got all the lines.
Thank you for that reporting, Nora. It's
of course.
Awesome.
Soccer season continues for the Waves.
And men's basketball starts off with its season opener with a tribute game.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite. Unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. One book could be the first little thing. Helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Welcome back. Jenna is here with sports and a special tribute game.
Thanks, Carolyn. Pepperdine men's basketball tipped off with a tribute game to Neve Rolston, Peyton Stewart, Asha Weir, and Desmond Williams. Last night, the Waves faced Concordia Irvine in the first game of the 2023-2024 season. The team honored the memory of the 4 women with a moment of silence and prayer. Junior guard Houston Millette led the Waves with 26 points, followed by sophomore guard Malik Moore with 16 points.
The Waves took home their first win of the season, defeating the Golden Eagles 76-64. The Waves take on UC Davis for their first away game Thursday at 2:30. All the proceeds from Monday night's game will be contributed to the Memorial Fund. And after an impressive WCC season, Pepperdine Soccer earns a bid in the postseason. The team played Gonzaga Saturday to fight for a WCC title. Pepperdine fell short and Gonzaga took the title in a 3-1 match. Despite this loss, the team's performance throughout the season left them second in the WCC. This finish gives the Waves a chance to fight for an NCAA title in the national tournament. The Waves are set to take on number 2 seed on the road at Stanford Friday at 6 p.m.
Well, thank you for that update, Jenna, and such a touching thing that the Pepperdine basketball team did. So
it was really beautiful.
And hopefully the women's soccer team can go all the way.
Yes,
Let's
that'd
just
be
cross
awesome.
our fingers. Good luck to them on Saturday. And thank you for that update. So, need some morning inspiration? You can earn $1,000 for making your bed. Jewelry maker Shane Company is using the competition to push its motto of starting your day with intention. For 30 days, they want people to do the simple chore, which for them includes tucking your sheets, folding blankets and comforters, and arranging your pillows. Contestants are also required to journal about how this daily habit improves their lifestyle. Online applications need to be submitted by December 8th, and the winner will be announced on December the 22nd. Well, I apparently have been doing something that I could have been being paid for all this time.
No, I know, me too.
I just don't know what I would write about bed making that would be interesting at all.
I don't know. I have to make my bed before I start on my homework or do anything else, so
Well,
it's very important.
it is very important. That'll do it for us this evening. Have a great night.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Got a quarter?